Today we will continue the second part of Introduction to Basic Pathology. In first part, we already saw about general introduction to basic pathology and the terminologies, meaning of the terminologies, which means what is etiology and what is pathogenesis. Here we will continue with the classification of pathology. In this part, we will discuss classification and subclassification of anatomical pathology, and we will just start with clinical pathology also. So for main classification of pathology, there are three main types of pathology: anatomical pathology, clinical pathology, and molecular pathology. We have already seen in our introduction slide also. So togetherly, anatomical and clinical pathology will be considered as general pathology. So basically three: anatomical, clinical, molecular. Anatomical along with the clinical will be considered as general pathology category. First, anatomical pathology. Anatomical pathology is a study of anatomical features such as tissue removed from the body or even an entire body in the case of an autopsy. So autopsy related condition, we will go for certain studies regarding a portion of a body or the entire body will be selected for a complete study. That we will coming under anatomical pathology with respect to anatomical features of body or to the organ or to a portion of organ or the complete body will be analyzed under anatomical pathology. So what kind of abnormal anatomical features we can see, like a tissue we will remove from body or the complete body we will select for study, which will be coming under autopsy related condition. So this is anatomical pathology. Anatomical pathology can include looking at cells under microscope but also involves looking at the organ in general. So cellular study also we can consider here, because histological wise cells, tissues, everything we can examine under microscope in order to find out what anatomical changes happen to the body in order to find out the result. But generally also for a general inspection, under general observation also we can see an organ and we can find out what kind of anatomical abnormality happened to that organ, external wise also. It also includes investigation on the chemical properties of cells and their immunological markers. So microscopic wise and macroscopic wise also, what kind of chemical properties happen to the cells, and certain chemical properties are there. If at all some chemical properties happen to the cells, we will find out it with the presence of immunological markers. So whenever any kind of pathology happen to a particular organ, some kind of chemical components will be delivered or will be accumulated in certain portions of the tissue, cells, wherever it may be, along with some immunological markers wherever there will be any infective conditions or further inflammatory conditions happen. As a result of that, some kind of immunological markers also will be distorted somewhere. So presence of these chemical components and immunological markers will give some idea regarding the diagnosis or regarding the clinical condition. That we will discuss under anatomical pathology. Under anatomical pathology, again subdivisions are there. Three are there mainly. Several broad classifications of anatomical pathology like surgical pathology or biopsy, histopathology, cytopathology. Surgical pathology or should be again named as biopsy, histopathology, cytopathology. We will see the features of each three types. First one, surgical pathology, the examination of tissues removed during surgery. So during the time of surgery, in order to find out any kind of clinical evidence to prove which is the clinical case or what is the death of what is the cause behind the death of a person, we will remove certain tissues during the surgery or in living condition also in order to find out what is the exact cause for a proper diagnosing. We will remove certain tissues from body during the time of surgery. Surgical pathology involves gross and microscopic examination of surgical specimens, biopsies. Microscopic also we will enable here for surgical pathology. So we will remove certain portion. It can be tissues, it can be organ itself. So microscopically, first of all, we will examine the tissues or the cells under microscope. Macroscopic also, we will go for general observation also. If at all one organ is excised or it was surgically removed from the body, that we will see under general observation also, external wise, what kind of anatomical changes happen to that condition. It is otherwise called as biopsy. So one more name we can give here, biopsy studies. For example, examination of tumor tissue to determine its malignancy. So tissues externally also we can identify during the skin condition, especially malignant melanoma of the skin condition. Externally, what will be the presentation of the melanoma? What will be the lesions? What about the malignancy condition? Its presentation we can observe it externally also. Further, we can go for another investigations. Along with the microscopic study, histological study also we will do, because we will excise some portion from there, some tissues we will collect from there, and we will go for further microscopic study also. So in two ways we can go for surgical pathological procedure. Next is histopathology. Histopathology refers to the microscopic examination of tissues in order to study the manifestation of disease. Histological section of the processes or state tissue is being observed. So histopathology, which means it is completely related to the tissue cells only. Here completely we will go for microscopic examination of tissues. What is the exact cause or how the disease got manifested? In order to prove, in order to diagnose the condition, we will go for histopathology under microscopic examination. Surgically, we will remove the tissue portion from the body of a patient, and that histological sections or that portion we will keep it for, or we will keep it for further staining process. Certain staining in order to impart color over the tissues. Then only we can differentiate what is abnormal conditions and what is normal conditions, in order to differentiate normal and abnormal cells also. So staining procedure is to be done there, and then it will be observed under microscope. That's a normal procedure we will follow under histopathology. Cytopathology. Cytopathology is the branch of pathology that studies and diagnoses disease at the cellular level. So at the cellular level, what kind of abnormality is happening and what is the reason, in order to diagnose the disease at cellular level, completely cell related condition, we will depend upon cytopathology. Microscopic examination of isolated cells in order to study the manifestation of disease. So cells we will collect from body of the patient, and we will separately isolate it in a medium, and from there we will go for further microscopic examination, thereby other staining procedure, further chemical reactions also will be carried out under this isolated cells. Specific isolated medium we will use. For example, pap smear, a major type of test we will perform in women, mostly only in women. In condition of cervical carcinoma condition, we will go for pap smear test. So there we will go for collection of the cells from the inner layer, surface layer of the vaginal portion. From there cells we will isolate, we will collect the cells, we will go for first of all microscopic examination, and from thereby we will give it for further staining procedure, and we will find out what is the exact cause behind this kind of carcinoma, or in order to prove, in order to fix the condition is cervical carcinoma or not. That is pap smear test, and another example for a cytopathological investigation. Clinical pathology, the other subclassification after anatomical pathology. Clinical pathology diagnoses a disease through laboratory analysis of bodily fluids. Here body fluids we will analyze mainly. That's another diagnosis procedure. Blood, urine, like hematology, urology, everything will be coming under clinical pathology in order to diagnose a disease through laboratory investigations. Other than that, blood, urine, we can go for CSF, synovial fluid analysis also will be carried out under clinical pathology. The field of clinical pathology is also referred to as the field of laboratory medicine. So, depends upon the clinical pathological findings, we will go for further steps ahead for the treatment side also. Then only, because in order to find out a clinical condition, we should find out first of all what kind of changes happen to the body and where the parameters have been changed from the normal state. So report we should consider first of all, the lab reports we should consider first of all, depends upon the laboratory report, depends upon the components where it has been changed, thereby we will go for further medicinal intervention. For example, the chemical components of blood can be analyzed along with its cells to identify any microorganisms like a bacteria. So complete blood count CBC we will go. The complete hemogram we will analyze with respect to the RBC, WBC cells, platelet cells count. It is varying or not. It is in with respect to normal range or not. HB percentage, MCV, PCV, MCHC. The other differentiative or disintegrative parts also we should analyze under the normal blood complete blood count list. Along with that, we will find out any kind of presence of microorganisms are there or not, like bacteria, presence of bacteria are there or not. So a thin film we will make over the glass slide. We will go for further microscopic analysis. So smears we will prepare, like blood films we will prepare, then we will go for further identification under microscope. This is another utility of clinical pathology. Subclassification of clinical pathology we will discuss in our next part. So in this part we discussed about anatomical pathology and subclassification of anatomical pathology. Clinical pathology subtypes we will discuss in the next part.